The Rewind
Sports 60. From the city of big shoulders, jewel of the Midwest, comes a sports show that's one of a kind. From iconic players to iconic stadiums to iconic teams, this is my kind of town.
Chicago!
And the Rewind Sports 60 is my kind of show. From Air Jordan to Sweetness to Papa Bear Hallis, this city works hard, but plays even harder. Danny Carlino and Jerry Riles bring you the Rewind Sports 60. Live. The Rewind Sports 60 starts now.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Rewind Sports 60. We're broadcasting live from the world's famous Serenello's Restaurant de Italiano, right here in the heart of Wheeling. This is the Rewind Sports 60, streaming on YouTube and Facebook Live. Let's get to our esteemed panel. He's the one. He's the only one. You love him. He's known as the Italian Stallion. He's DC. He's Danny Carlino. What's up, DC?
Good morning, Jerry. You said the steam. Where's the steam?
Go ahead.
Right, where's the steam?
Hey, give it a little time. Let it warm up a little bit.
Warm up. It's like 800 degrees outside.
It's like an old DeSoto. Don't worry about it.
What is it? DeSoto? Wasn't that one of the explorers from Spain?
I believe that was an old wooden ship.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, he's the best in the business, Chicago's very own. The country will know his name. He's the best entertainer. He's the best comedian. He's the best actor. He is the best in the business. He's the one. He's the only. He's Kelly Lee Williams!
Somehow he's talking about me.
What's up, Kelly? How are you?
Jerry! Cubs are awesome. Cubs are wonderful. I am a wonderfully happy Cub fan today. Are you seeing what they're doing? They are wonderful. It's a great thing to watch, especially when I'm in Chicago. I mean, last year I was in Anchorage, Alaska at this time. Anchorage, watching my Cubs win, and now I'm here, right here, and I'm talking about them on a sports show. This is America, y'all. This is what America's about. That's right. Jerry took me from the ghettos of Anchorage, Alaska, and brought me into his fold, and now I'm doing a show for the Rewind Sports 60, and I thank you, and God, and Jerry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Kelly, for being a part of what we're doing here. We'll get an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the what's going on in the world of Kelly Lee Williams. It's got a lot of exciting things taking place, and of course, you want to definitely follow him and follow us. We're on YouTube, of course, Facebook Live and streaming. We're right there. Our website is the rewindsports60.com. THE rewindsports60.com. Feel free to give us a call throughout the fastest 2 hours in sports broadcasting. This show is the fastest indeed. Give us a call on our TRS60 hotline. It's 847-777-0140. 847-777-0140. A lot in store, a lot packed in this show, so let's get right to it. First things first, since you opened up with the Cubs, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with them. Danny, we start with you. These Cubbies, they had a little breakdown a week and a half ago or whatever when they were in Cincinnati. The Reds handled business, the woeful Reds, but the Reds were playing pretty good baseball as well. They go out to the left coast to take on the Dodgers, and that was a pretty interesting series as well. But the important story that happened during that series was the fact that the hitting coach, Chili Davis, pulled the guys aside and said, hey, wait a minute. You guys, you're making me look bad. They bring me in. I want the sticks to start to catch fire, get heated up. And boom! After that closed-door players-only meeting, the bats have come alive. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, they've done this before this season. They've been an up-and-down team this year.
Yes.
Which is better than last year, I guess, because last year they started off kind of dull.
They were real bad last year, before the first half.
So they're in a similar situation as far as in the standings.
Right.
The record's better than it was last year, but the standings-wise, they're in a similar situation. So I guess being streaky is better than being boring. But it's got to be a little bit frustrating when you know the team has so much more, and they're kind of like, I mean, you go from getting swept by the Reds to picking it up a little bit against the Dodgers.
Right.
Beating Minnesota isn't any great shakes, but they're on the schedule, but they are pounding the ball even against them. So there's some promise there, but it seems like every time you look at, hey, the Cubs had a good week, and then the next week it's like, who are these guys? And the next week, hey, those are the real Cubs. I'm like, no, it's not.
Right.
And then you got the ongoing Yu Darvish thing, like I'm ready, I'm not ready, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
Call me in a couple weeks deal. So you don't really know what to say. But as long as the Cubs are within 3 games of the division,
right,
and they're at the top of the wild card, more than likely they're going to be playing in October.
They should be playing in October. And there's got a lot of baseball left in store. We're fastly approaching the All-Star break, and as you talked about, the Cubs, they are who they are, up and down. But lately, Kelly, you're on fire. You're one of their supporters. The Cubs have been playing some very good baseball. They won 4 out of 5. They've scored something like 53 runs in those 4 or 5 games. They've been crushing the ball.
Chili Davis is the key. When he joined the Oakland A's in 2011, they were the worst hitting team in the American League. When he left that team in 2014, they were the best hitting team. They went to the playoffs in 2014. One of the best hitters and one of the best hitting teams in the league in 2014. He joins the Red Sox 2015, one of the worst hitting teams in the league. He leaves 16 and 17, best hitting team in the American League East, 2 years in a row in the playoffs. This year he joins the Cubs. 2018, Cubs aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Chili Davis calls that meeting. I believe he said one thing: stop swinging for the fences, because there were so many free swingers. Javi Baez, free swinger. Craig Hayward, I almost said Ironhead. Hayward.
That's hilarious.
I know.
He's stubborn.
Jason Hayward,
Jason Hayward.
free swinger. Cal Schwarber, free swinger. This was not working. And now, Chili Davis said, don't swing for the fences. No more home runs. And you see, from the way that they were scoring these runs in the last 3 games, Javi Baez, instead of going for the fences with 2 men on, nobody out, he bunts.
Right.
He bunts and he blows into the bases, and then they start the carousel of freaking runs.
Right.
That's what Chili Davis told them to do.
Right.
And I think this is not an anomaly, sir. This is going to happen for the rest of the year, because they know Chris Bryant's not even in the lineup right now. Chris Bryant's taking weeks off. Anthony Rizzo, he's slumping. They're doing this without Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant, their top 2 hitters.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
Chili Davis is making them into a team that can go to the playoffs and sustain themselves and go to the World Series and win it.
He was a great addition to the Cubs coaching staff, and when they announced the signing, I was really pleased and happy because he's a great guy, first of all.
That too.
But secondly, he knows his craft. He knows what his job is, and the players, as you talked about, they weren't responding. He said, "Listen, guys, just relax. Don't hit for the fences." That's what baseball wanted. They wanted the long ball. The chicks dig the long ball. We all know that. But that's what the Cubs were doing. And you talk about Javi Baez. He was doing that religiously, swinging for the fences. So you either got the long ball or the strikeout. Chili Davis said, "Hey, listen, you don't have to do it all by yourself in one swing. If you can't get the job done, that's why we call it a team, because your boys will pick you up." And exactly that's what's been happening. Addison Russell has been swinging a hot bat as well. So kudos to Chili Davis and the Chicago Cubs and these boys. Now, hopefully, if you're a Cub fan, you're hoping that this continues on. You're hoping that everyone comes around. But as far as the injuries are concerned, you said it. Yu Darvish. Talk about...
Yu Darvish is a very big problem, because he was supposed to come over and be the key. He's supposed to be the linchpin. He was like, okay, we got rid of Arrieta because you brought in Yu Darvish. Arrieta's doing his thing over in Philly. What's Yu Darvish doing? I don't know where I am right now. That's not good enough. But guess what? At this point in the season, the Cubs are 6 games ahead of their pace last year. And they're doing it without Yu Darvish. They're doing it with a Tyler Chatwood getting killed on the mound.
I think I could draw a walk against Tyler Chatwood.
I could draw. I mean, my
without
goodness.
a bat.
Without, I could just stand there and go like this. I mean, 5 walks, 6. This is unacceptable. Tyler Chatwood has to go to the bullpen. But Lester, Montgomery, Lester's doing his thing.
Lester and Javi Baez were the guys that's really picked up the slack.
Yes.
In the month of June, because remember they had the 4 or 5 game skid losing streak. Lester gets on the bump. Javi Baez has an incredible game. They win. They end the losing streak. Those 2 guys have really, especially in the month of June, have really supported this Cubs team. Now, last year around this time, we talked about a Danny Carlino. It was a bullpen that was bailing this team out because the bats were dead. They were dead. They were
and the
certainly
starting
dead.
pitchers couldn't consistently get into the 5th inning, let alone the 6th.
Exactly. So now you're talking about the bullpen and all the injuries that are taking place right now. The pitching staff kind of so-so, and then the bats were kind of so-so. I think with Chili Davis and what he's been able to do with this baseball team is something that they certainly needed a shot in the arm, and let's see how long this thing continues to ride as far as the Cubs are concerned. Real quick, let's go over to the south side, and there's not much to say.
Real quick.
We know that they're rebuilding, but the White Sox, is there anything to talk about regarding Ricky Renteria and what's going on with those guys? Are they clowns? Are they clowns?
You know what's funny? They had these grinder bash events where the season ticket holders get to do like a tour of the stadium and they get to play on the field or whatever.
Yay!
So somebody took a picture of a sign they have in the clubhouse, and it said like the best success comes from making sure that you take care of the basics, something like that.
Right.
And it's in English and in Spanish. And I'm thinking like for a heavily Latino flavored baseball team, that sign shows that they don't understand English or Spanish.
Right.
Because the basics are faulty at this point.
Oh man, Ricky Renteria. I mean, he does the best post game interviews. I mean, he looks
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He looks like a guy that's just like, who, me? What? Me worry? These guys are
Got
out there.
Mad Magazine next
Yeah,
week.
exactly. What am I worried about? I'm going to be fired at the end of this year, and these guys are going to help me get fired. So I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my time in the sun and then go retire on the last 2 years of my contract remaining. I mean,
I gotta give credit to Mark Carmen. He does a fantastic job on WGN 720 AM radio, the post game regarding the White Sox and trying to save face. When I'm listening to the post game comments of Mr. Ricky Renteria, manager for the Chicago White Sox, if I'm in my car, Danny Carlino, and I'm hearing it, I swear to you, I'm almost ready to just run into a semi, man, or something. It drives me nuts.
No offense to Mark and anyone else that could be doing the post game show other days, but just turn it off.
yes.
We don't want you to get hurt or
No,
anyone else.
you know, when you cover these
Safety
teams,
first, right, Bill?
teams in the greatest city in the world as far as sports are concerned, your job is to try to stay on top of it as much as you possibly can.
I wish
And
other people would try to stay on top of
there
their
are
jobs.
times, Danny and Kelly, that I'm like, really, I gotta bear with this.
Well, at a certain point, though, not to bail him out, but I mean, what do you say?
My grandmother, rest in peace, she was a big White Sox fan, and I'm so glad she saw them go to the World Series and win it, because that's her best memory, and she doesn't have to see this. So I'm a Cubs fan, and I feel sorry for the White Sox, because there's no more rivalry.
It's tough.
There's no more rivalry. When they play together, that's not going to be a very good game, and that's sad. South side, north side, we all have to be good. We all got to be battling, man.
We got to do it. Before we take a short time out, our first time out here at the Rewind Sports 60 at Sierra Nello's, the world's famous Sierra Nello's Ristorante Italiano right here in Wheeling. Quick thoughts on Yosh Kawano, who just passed away this past week. Longtime clubhouse guy for the Chicago Cubs. He spent more time at Wrigley Field running the clubhouse than the two owners.
Anyone.
Unbelievable.
Josh Kawano was there for the good as well as the bad, but thank goodness he was there for the good for the year that they won. And rest in peace. I'm going to remember Josh Kawano as one of the best Cubs ever, because he was always there taking care of the players, everybody. Everybody loved Josh. Everybody.
And you never lost a game.
No,
That's true.
You're always looking for that white hat.
Yeah.
And always the good guys always wear the white hats.
You got that right.
He rolled it right into the sunset.
And it's in the Hall of Fame. Yosh, condolences go out to his family. We're going to take our first time out here, the Rewind Sports 60. Jerry Riles, the Italian Stallion, Danny Carlino, and of course, Kelly Lee Williams. Keep it locked in. This is the Rewind Sports 60. More coming up right after this short timeout. Lock it in.
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout, so don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on Facebook Live. Now let's get you back to the hottest sports panel in Chicago.
Hello, Chicago!
Lock it in.
World famous Sierra Nello's Ristorante Italiano. Right here in the heart of Wheeling, Jerry Riles, the Rewind Sports 60, Danny Carlino, the Italian Stallion, and of course Kelly Lee Williams. We're pleased to be joined by this young lady. Is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You know, I was once a halfway decent athlete back in the day. Throw the ball, kick the ball, run, jump, all that good stuff. Fall down and listen to these two knuckleheads.
I didn't say anything.
Italian Stallion, Kelly Lee Williams.
Yes.
But I could never pull off this feat. We're pleased to be joined by Tracy Shefchuk. She is with the cross-country cycling and represents Gary Sinise Foundation. And she just pulled off something tremendous, amazing. Folks, she just biked from San Diego, right, California, cross-country to Florida.
St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine, Florida, folks. 3,142 miles. Here's the amazing part of it. She finished it, first of all. That's amazing in itself.
I didn't even finish reading the
But
story.
during her travels, you experienced 16 seizures?
Yes.
2 months of cycling. She finally gets to Florida and earned $25,000 for veterans across the country to donate to Gary Sinise, the actor Gary Sinise Foundation. Thank you and welcome to the Rewind Sports 60, Tracy. We appreciate you joining us on the program. How are you?
I'm doing good, but actually I'm up to $29,000.
$29,000.
Wow.
And by the time this segment is done, we want to hit the 50 mark. We want you to help us get there. Tracy's going to tell you how. Tracy, how did this happen? How did you come up with this idea that you wanted to ride across the country and raise money for veterans here in this country, and then train and pull it off?
It came to me in a dream.
Just a dream.
Just a dream. I came up with a crazy idea to bike across the United States. From that dream, I wanted to help. I'm a Navy veteran myself. I wanted to help my fellow veterans out. So I called Gary Sinise Foundation, asked if I could do it for his foundation. They said yes. And one thing just started on top of another thing. And
Did you wake up in a cold sweat when you had this dream and say, whoa, was I dreaming or is this really real? Pinch me, somebody.
no, I actually, I've done a bunch of little bike tours.
Okay.
And then I biked across Iowa. They call it the Reg Rear Ride.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, what can I do next? And I'm like, well, let's bike across the United States.
Well, talk about some of the experiences that you encountered. It's like, again, when I saw the headline, it says 16 seizures.
Do you want the good or the bad experiences?
I want it all. This is real sports, real talk, just plain real. We want it all.
Okay, the good first. I met a lot of wonderful people out there. I met a bunch of people that were donating things to me, giving me free lunches, buying me food, giving me Tide Pods and dryer sheets along the way and saying, here you go for my laundry. On the flip side, I was chased by 32 dogs.
Really?
I can honestly say I hate dogs now with a passion.
32 dogs?
32
All at one
dogs.
time?
No.
Okay, I was like, I'm
No,
thinking like
no,
World
at-
Warrior stuff.
No, at different times. The most at one time was 4.
That's enough.
So,
You got away, of course.
Yes, I had one dog that bit the back of my bag.
Okay.
Oh.
Was that the bag that had food in it?
No, that had my clothes in it.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess that's sort of good.
Wow.
Right?
Outside of the seizures, just pretty much being out there by yourself.
Sure. Now, did you have a team
No.
with you, following
No,
you?
it was just me.
So what if you, because our good friends, we're at Serenello's Restaurante, Chef Michael Bonner, guy's fantastic. You got to come on out here. If you don't make it for brunch, come on out here for dinner. He will take care of you. He is the best in the business. But Chef Michael Bonner here is a cyclist as well.
Okay.
He lives in the southern suburbs of Chicago. He biked from his home to Indianapolis and back in 24 hours.
Okay.
I thought that was amazing. But he had
Thanks.
someone following him just in case a bike, the wheel goes down or he run into a pothole or something. So he had repairs. You didn't have any of that.
No, I actually had 2 flat tires. The worst was my seat post screw broke when I was going up a mountain. So
Ooh.
I was standing on the side of a mountain with holding my seat and a post and.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Tracy!
I actually did have roadside assistance on my bike, so I called the tow truck.
AAA for bikes.
AAA for bikes, they do offer
that's
it.
True. That's exactly right. So when you experienced these 16 different seizures, I'm guessing it was while you were on the bike, or you were in a
I was on a bike.
yeah. If you're by yourself, how did you manage to survive through that?
You have to read my blog.
Well, give me the Clip Notes version.
It's on my blog. I just basically, I know when I'm getting them. I get off my bike. When I'm back here, it's fine because I just get on the side of the road and I don't have to worry about anything. Out there is I was a little more worried about rattlesnakes, scorpions, stuff like that. So it's.
So you have a condition? That you...
I have epilepsy.
Okay.
Oh.
And,
I have a niece with that.
I have epilepsy and I also have a brain tumor and I have asthma. So
none of that gave you any pause about going, and not only going, but going alone?
no.
Tracy,
It did my family, but not really
Sure.
me.
I can imagine.
my father was in the Navy, my two brothers in the Navy, great uncle in the Army, and I was in the Army for 5 years. Thank you for everything that you're doing for veterans,
Thank
because
you.
that and a whole lot more need to be done.
Thank you.
Our Marty-B is a Navy man as well. He's a part of our program. He's
Who is it?
He's
Yeah,
a
we
Navy
met.
man
We met.
as well. But thank you again for all you've done. And what's your next journey, your next goal?
I had a group of firemen that reached out to me when I was gone. We're doing one in 2021.
Okay.
It's either going to be Seattle, LA to New York City for the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Wow.
And that one's also going to be for Gary Sinise Foundation.
Now talk about the emotional highs and lows that you experienced. The most important one, of course, when you finally reached your journey in Florida, what that homecoming was like for you.
Okay. I actually was about a week before it started, the emotions, ups and downs, crying on my bike, getting teary-eyed. I think the worst was when I came around the corner and I see my two sons standing there. I actually had a police escort coming in, and I actually wanted to get off my bike and go give him a hug, and I was like, nope, just keep going, keep going. But it was so emotional, just not only finishing it
Yes.
with that emotion, but seeing my kids and seeing how proud they were of me finishing it and my family and stuff. And so
Awesome.
Well, Tracy, thank you so very
Awesome.
much. God bless you. And again, if people want to get a hold of you, how can they make a donation? We're at
Yes.
29,000. We want to get to 50,000 before we go to a short timeout. Tracy, how do they get a hold of you?
you can go to my website at Cross Country Cycle, and it's the number 4vets.com. Facebook is the same page.
And your blog and everything is on there too.
Everything is on my website, and on my Facebook, there's photos of every day that I went across.
Tracy Sefcik, thank you so very much for joining us on the Rewind Sports 60. Folks, more coming up. Keep it locked in. The hits just keep coming. Don't touch that iPhone. Don't touch that Samsung. Don't touch that Android, the iPad. Don't touch the PC, the MacBook Pro. Don't touch any of that stuff. Keep it locked in. This is the Rewind Sports 60, broadcasting from the world's famous Ciaranello's restaurant, the Italiano, right here in Wheeling.
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout. So don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on Facebook Live. Now let's get you back to the hottest sports panel in Chicago.
Hello, Chicago!
Lock it in.
The hits just keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Riles, along with the Italian Stallion, Danny Carlino, and of course the one, the only, the up-and-comer. He is a household name for sure. Best actor, entertainer, comedian. He's Kelly Lee Williams!
Where is he? Oh, hi.
And we're pleased to be joined. Let me tell you something. This beautiful rose amongst us thorns here, I stole that line from Marty-B, but she is fantastic. I saw this young lady walking a few weeks ago, and I go, wow, she was like stunning. It's like the sky parted. The sun just came beaming down. I was like, she is radiant.
So did you do one of those in your mind, like there she was, just walking down the street?
Singing, do I do?
No, you see the commercials and the woman is walking in slow motion and her hair is just flowing like that. That's when I saw Sarah Sims. I go, wow, it was those commercials.
Yes, I remember. Yes,
the hair commercials.
They're usually beer
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe.
Yeah. But I had to stop her and I go, my name is Jerry. It's okay if I introduce myself to you. She goes, get the hell out of here. I got work to do, buddy. Sarah Sims of All You Med Spa owner, welcome you to the Rewind Sports 60. Thank you so very much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You look fantastic. Fantastic. And she and I have been talking quite a while. And, I'm always looking for, first of all, partnerships and relationships to help out what we're doing here on the Rewind Sports 60, continue to get bigger, get better, and get stronger. And she told me about her place. It's in Niles, correct?
Yes.
And I thought it was kind of like, the basic salon or spa where you get the manicure, pedicure, facial, things of that. But no, it's more than that. She's like, I don't have time for that. This is what I do. Can you share with our viewing audience and the panel here what All You Med Spa can do for you?
Everybody interested in beauty, but more upgrade medical skincare business. So getting everybody wants to look younger, at least 20 years more younger.
Right.
So that's why I can make imagine make. And then that's why we do anti-aging, or we do a lot of bunch of different treatment. But we do the laser treatment, the body sculpture, or microblading, or acne treatment, lifting, tightening, wrinkle, everything. So that's why everybody come in our one-time consultation. Customizer either looking, we have a 6-time treatment, or sometimes the 2-time or 3-time. Imagine total different person I can make. Or looks different looks, or way, face lifting, wrinkle, or spine remover, everything is I can do.
So 20 years younger, you can make some more.
Oh yeah.
Because I've always wanted to look 10 years old again, so I really want to get to look at this. Yeah.
You need help with math?
No, I don't need help with math. Why do you think I like math? My math is fine, Danny.
And it's interesting because I've seen some before and after pictures that she was able to share with me.
I'm the before picture usually.
You and me both, Danny. But she showed me some of her work, and it is remarkable because you can definitely see the dramatic change, so to speak, in these individuals once they come to her with the consultation, and then they start the procedure. After maybe a week or depending on what their packages are, you can definitely see the improvement. She works on your back as well, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's all of us, but I got the bad back right now. Yeah. How will we get a hold of this particular back thing? Because, is it like something you have like is it fingers or is it a machine?
Well, describe some of the machines that you work with.
Yeah. Body sculpture is we do a cavitation treatment. Well, inside the cellulite mat first, and then we have a collagen treatment. We have skin tightening, or you lose skin, or we have make sculpting. So that's why it is a totally different image. And then some people is surgery, not much exercise. We can make much like this. It's a whole body detox body, and then right away the energy backup. And then inside is muscle built up. So that's why the inside the fat burn out after built the you muscle. That's why the most people wants to. Jerry, you need it too. Why? Most people think of only fat thing, but it's getting older. Skin is not tightening area. We do a treatment, definitely the skin is forming, tightening, looks much younger.
Right on.
So we imagine it's a face look, body, walking, everything is open packaging. So that's like the hair and food or treatment include we have I have a package plan. So that's why 3 and 6 times, or some people 10 times stop by. totally different looks I can make.
Do you ever get any people that think like they need a certain service, but then when you actually evaluate them, it's like, no, I think this other thing would be better for you. This other track would be better for you.
Oh yeah, that's why we have, most people think about imaging difference with surgery, but here is med spa, the medical grade, it's dermatology office, but we have, non-surgical, but we have a total difference, it's skin, deep penetrate, and then looks, you say glow, and that's why you can, imagine it's a totally different is inside the, cell glowing. So
Yes.
that's a foaming tightening. Well, I do microblading too. I got a, long time business. So I'm 1990, but my, faced a lot of acne problem before. So that's why I'm very interested. My major is fine art, and I'm an artist, I'm a musician too. So my hobby to dance too. So that's why.
Yeah. She can dance too.
Oh, yeah?
Explain real quick before we take our time out. Explain the micro threading or
Yeah.
braiding.
Yeah.
Explain that to them, because she showed me a picture, I think, of one of your clients,
Yeah.
and you kind of added the eyebrow,
Yeah.
and it looked like it was. Well, explain.
Well, microblading is, everybody lose hair, getting older. Well, some, skin problem, and they lose it part. Well, in case we can imagine to hair is one by one growing, and then that is micropigmentation, but that is now the microblading. So that's why we, imagine totally different hair touch I can make. So that's why drawing, but that one is totally different, 3D. So looks looks like hair. So look, growing hair feeling. We do it hair touch or eyebrow, eyeliner, lip, everything. But I got a 30 years experience. So that's why I wedding makeup, bridal makeup, fashion show, or imagine we makeup too. And we permanent makeup, but that one's a microblading, eyeliner, lip. Well, in case of surgery recover. Yeah, after we do a fix the face, after we lifting treatment.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that. That's why the microblading getting more popular. So I'm teaching school, everything. Well, yeah, that's why I was doing business. But, well, we'll see.
Sarah,
Next time.
Sarah Sims, thank you so much.
Sarah
If people
Sims.
want to get a hold of you, how do they find you? And they want to get that treatment.
I just see her walking down the street and say hi.
You're
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, everybody coming
She's like radiant.
Okay.
If you see her, you'll know who she is.
There you go. How can people get a hold of you?
So, if you come in, my shop is in H-Mart, in Nice, 801 Civic Center 153, and the OU Med Spa and skincare makeup place. So, everybody coming over, our imagine totally different looks, different life.
Right on.
That's why that I can imagine. So, we do it. It's the next treatment. We have a proceed or before after picture. Next time I show that. So
Okay.
that's why that everybody interested. The job.
There you go. Hey. And she can dance. Come on.
Oh no!
Come on.
What then?
She can dance, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it locked in.
Ba-da-dum,
It's the Rewind
dun,
Sports
dun,
60.
dun,
Jerry
dun,
Riles,
dun,
Danny
dun,
Carlino, Kelly Lee Williams. More coming up right after this short timeout.
What score do you give it?
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout. So don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on Facebook Live. Now let's get you back to the hottest sports panel in Chicago.
Hello, Chicago!
Lock it in.
and gentlemen, the hits just keep coming. It's the fastest 2 hours of sports conversation. If you miss any portion of the broadcast, make sure you check us out on YouTube and Facebook Live. Go to our webpage, therewindsports60.com. THE, rewindsports60.com. Danny Carlino, the Italian Stallion. And of course, look who we just stumbled upon here. It's a world's famous Ciaranello's restaurant, the Italiano. Cruising for Bruising, Francis Cruz of 4boxingnews.com, the number 4boxingnews.com. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Doing fantastic. You staying cool in all this heat?
I'm trying.
You're looking good?
Yeah, you guys probably have it much more rough.
Well,
These suit coats.
you know.
Yeah.
This must be what the mascots at ball games or at Six Flags or at Disney World feel like.
Can you? Whoa, that's a great. That's
Just
a
put a
great
big furry
analogy.
head on my.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Can you imagine those guys out in this?
I try not to.
Oh my God. How's everything? What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well,
You enjoying the brunch and everything?
Yes. I actually haven't tried anything yet today, but
Oh, okay.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, it's the place to be. You certainly know that.
I do.
Yeah,
No, I haven't
yeah.
had a chance yet, but I will.
Okay. Any late news on the boxing world? What's anything we need to know?
Oh my gosh, did you hear that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder is not going to be happening this year?
What happened?
I guess the issue is that the WBA is ordering Anthony Joshua to face Alexander Povetkin instead, which is a fight that fans really don't want to see because we all know that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder were supposed to go head-to-head this
Right.
year, but now it's not happening. So now the speculation is that Eddie Hearn is somehow in cahoots with the WBA and told them to do this mandatory for Joshua to face Povetkin instead to kind of like duck Deontay Wilder.
Wow.
I know, because Deontay Wilder,
Goodness.
yeah, it's ridiculous. So Wilder actually agreed to all of the terms. He was ready to fly out to the UK. He was ready to take much less money than what he initially expected.
Right.
But it's not moving forward this year, so fans are up in arms. They are disappointed.
I find it funny though when these governing bodies, so many times like these guys need to fight, these guys need to fight, this guy needs a chance, he's the number one contender, and it never happens. And then they still, oh no, this has to happen when something's already in place. They kind of the way they pick and choose when they decide to put their weight on stuff is interesting to me.
Definitely. I really think that Anthony Joshua is Eddie Hearn's cash cow, so I think he's just
Sure.
being protected. In my opinion, I think that Anthony Joshua was a little bit reluctant to face Deontay Wilder because Wilder was ready to go. He's like, oh, I'll fight you in your backyard.
Right,
I don't have any fear. I don't have any hesitance whatsoever. And I think that maybe scared him a little bit, maybe scared his promoter a little bit.
Wow.
Too agreeable.
Yeah, too agreeable.
Too agreeable.
Was just so confident that he would beat him. And I think that made him a bit hesitant.
Do you really think that had a factor?
I think so. Or
Wow.
maybe it's just more his promoter
I would imagine.
trying to protect him. Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, Francis, we won't take you away. Get you some grub. Derek McIntyre over there carving up everything. Got the omelet thing going.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself. You're always welcome here on the Rewind Sports 60.
Oh, I was just stopping by to say hi to Steve. He kept trying to get me to come up here, so
Oh, cool.
thank you. Always wonderful to be here.
There you go. Thank you so
Very
very much.
persuasive.
Yeah, very persuasive. Well, we'll talk to you down the road again. Francis Cruz, Cruising for Bruising, 4 Boxing News. Boxing News, number 4. She is the president, the founder, Francis Cruz. Cruising for Bruising. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Be good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And of course, Donita Lake is joining us as well.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Donita,
I talked to
she's-
you on Facebook.
There you go.
That's right.
Awesome.
We're Facebook friends.
Donita is a
Absolutely.
clinical mental health contributor to the Rewind Sports 60. Welcome again. Thank you so much. How
Thank
are
you
you?
for having me. I am doing fantastic.
You look fantastic. $1 million
So
bucks.
do you. Thank
know
you.
what? Thank you. And definitely, it's always a treat and a pleasure to talk with you
Yes,
because there's
yes.
so much happening. Not only on the playing field, whether it's the football, basketball court, or even in the soccer, but in the personal lives of a lot of these athletes. And the latest that has come out as far as the NFL is concerned, Jameis Winston, the star quarterback for the
Yes.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has been suspended by the league for 3 games based on a incident that took place a couple years ago while he was in an Uber with his friends. Allegedly, he was accused of groping the Uber driver inappropriately in a drive-through, and they tried to fight it, but he and his legal representation decided, you know what, let's just accept the fine, the punishment, and he's suspended for 3 games.
Yes.
I want to talk with you about the behavior of these athletes. We understand they're high-priced athletes and high stakes involved
Yes.
as far as playing on the world stage, but they're still human and they have to deal with everyday life and everyday situations. And unfortunately for Jameis Winston, when he was playing for Florida State, he had some incidents that occurred. He was caught on camera actually taking a lobster, I think, out of a
From the
supermarket
fast food restaurant,
he grabbed
and not paying for the drink, and all of those
But is this the
inappropriate
fact
behavior.
that these players feel that they're entitled to this because they've been
absolutely.
catered to all their lives for the most part?
Well, I think if we had to use Sigmund Freud to coin his behavior, we would say that it's narcissistic personality disorder, which is described by traits of personality disorder surrounding drives of behavior of grandizement, self-grandizement, a sense of entitlement, basically vanity and egoism. So we find that a lot of professional athletes fall into this category of having these type of propensities of behavior, where they feel, like I said, this sense of, like you said, this sense of entitlement. Like it's okay. They get this slap on the wrist, and they're able to perpetuate these type of behaviors throughout their career, and they're never held accountable for them. And so when you highlight the negative behavior, though in some cases it only reinforces the negative behavior.
Well, do you think that they accepted the 3-game suspension because it's been alleged that the NFL, along with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and of course the Florida State Seminoles back when he was in his college days, that they were enablers, that they allowed him to get away with this? And so
absolutely,
absolutely,
and do keep in mind that enabling starts very young. So we'll see this behavior in athletes, pro athletes, college athletes, and we'll ignore the behavior because they're doing well on the playing field. So, we enable them. Absolutely.
So how do you, I'm sorry, Danny, so how do you break that cycle? Because it starts from the grade school level. We know now with AAU ball that's going on.
Absolutely.
You see little Johnny who's 10, 12 years old, and he's got a great jump shot, or he can run the 40, at a faster speed. It starts there.
Yes.
How can the cycle be broken?
What research has shown, and what we have found, that these are very inflexible psychological behaviors, and they're very difficult to mitigate some of these behaviors that are described with this particular player and many players across the board. In some cases, yes, but the person would have to want to change. And if they're being rewarded for bad behavior, what's going to motivate them to change that behavior?
If I'm getting rewarded for being, the bad boy, so to speak, why should I change?
Absolutely.
How much? Because obviously, those that are really good, especially at things that are public, like athletics and entertainment, stuff like
absolutely.
that. I mean, you have to have a bit of an ego. You have to feel in a way that I can do anything. But then you have to, in your private life or in your other interactions,
it's worse.
Well, I can't do everything because I shouldn't do certain things.
But who's there to hold that person accountable?
Because some people want to hang on them too.
Absolutely, because it gives them a sense of presence in that person's life, and sometimes we're afraid that if we bring those type of behaviors, to the forefront, that we'll be ostracized out of their lives. So a lot of times we enable people by putting up with those type of behaviors, making them seem fair and appropriate.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
From my observation too, it isn't just like, oh, this is my buddy I grew up with, he's got nothing going on, I want to help him out. But it's guys people who would have some authority, like a coach, like I have to kiss his fanny because
absolutely.
He makes me look good.
I need him to perform. He makes me look good, and as long as he's performing, who cares about how he acts? The bad behavior is considered acceptable.
Sure. Real quick before we go to a timeout, Jason's in, our technical director, getting everything done. Flip scripts real quick. Back still in the NFL, it came out as well. Percy Harvin reveals struggle with anxiety, discusses walking away from the NFL in a Sports Illustrated story. He's experiencing never-ending migraine headaches and anxiety disorder at 30 years of age.
This is something that started for him at 7 years old, though. And as we talked about, a lot of the disorders or the symptoms of symptomology shows up very young. And a lot of times these symptoms are not addressed early on, and it does turn into anxiety. He reported having heart palpitations, not being able to speak clearly, a lot of those symptoms have been very prevalent for him in his life. And of course, the pressures of the game certainly doesn't make it any better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I wish we had more time.
Yeah, and who thinks about anxiety for a 7-year-old kid?
Exactly.
It's very pervasive and something that needs to be addressed early on.
Donita Lake, she's
Absolutely.
a clinical mental health contributor here on the Rewind Sports 60, and of course, Cruz and Francis Cruz for BoxingNews.com. Ladies, thank you so very much. Danny Carlino, the Italian stallion, yours truly, Jerry Riles. One more time out, folks, before we hang it up. You've got the Rewind Sports 60 broadcasted from the world's famous Serenello's Ristorante Italiano right here in the heart of Wheeling.
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout. So don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on Facebook Live. Now let's get you back to the hottest sports panel in Chicago.
Hello, Chicago!
Lock it in.
Hey, welcome everyone back to the Rewind Sports 60. It's about to wrap things up, but I gotta say, Monster Education Foundation will be hosting its second annual 5K Fun Run and Walk in Wheeling, September 8th, beginning at about 7 o'clock, 7 to 11 o'clock at the Wheeling Park District, right here on Dundee Road. I want you to come on out and support what we're doing. All the proceeds go toward our scholars. We have about approximately, I'm a board member, that's why I'm saying we have approximately 20 young scholars from the city of Chicago, the west side, Austin area, and the south side, the Inglewood area. And our job is to raise money for them and for them to raise money for themselves to put toward a college fund. And once they graduate high school, we present that check to them so that they go on to college and further their education. But not only furthering their education to better their lives, but better their family's life, but they also work toward bettering the community. We want you to be a part of it. Again, the second annual Monster Education Foundation Fun Run, 5K Fun Run and Walk, September 8th, Saturday, 7 o'clock, Wheeling Park District. Go to the website, log on, monstereducationfoundation.org, or go to the Rewind Sports 60, click on the icon at the top, MEF, Monster Education Foundation. Sign up, register. It's only $30, I think, the registration. You guys come on out, girls come on out, fun run, fun walk, have a fun time. Want you to be a part of it. Jerry Riles, the Rewind Sports 60, Danny Carlino, the Italian stallion, joined by Marty-B, the man on the street, baby! And of course, the chef himself, Derek McIntyre, stopping by, and we're pleased to be joined by Seth Thomas. He's the owner of Swing Masters. They had the golf tournament at Kemper Lakes this weekend, and we're definitely going to talk about some golf here on the Rewind Sports 60. But before we do that, we're here every Sunday for Sunday Brunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And one of the bright smiles, one of the bright faces, one of the brightest attitudes, not only here at Serenello's, but quite frankly, around the beautiful country of the United States of America and in the world, Derek McIntyre. Man, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing excellent, man. I'm just here enjoying myself with you guys. I love your broadcast, and I love you bringing these people to come eat brunch with us every Sunday, and I'm just listening to what you got for us today, man.
So what do you have for people when they come down Sunday Brunch, Serenello Sunday Brunch, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're here from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. What do you have to offer these folks when they come down here?
Man, I got a lovely service, man, a quiet place where you can get to meet people, shake a hand, make a friend. Well, no, y'all the only one making the noise around here, But we also gonna feed you when you make a little noise around here.
Oh, and, well, we'll make a lot of noise then. Go ahead.
We are capable of doing that.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes.
If you're too quiet, then your closed mouth don't get fed. So once you open your mouth, I'm willing to feed you whatever you like.
And what is that you can feed people at the carving station, the omelet station?
Well, at my carving station, I got smoked turkey, I got New York strip. I also got mashed potatoes. And I also got both gravies for both of the meat. Turkey gravy and also got steak au jus. Also with horse relish or slider butter. And on the other side, I got an omelet station with all the veggies. You also got meats, which is ham, bacon, and you also got just great service. You guys need to come out with us, and I just want to wish everybody a 4th of July. You know, on that day, get it in a little earlier.
I don't have my Make America Great Again flag, but thank you so very much, Dan.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You're the best. So fun-loving waffles and save us some of that nice...
oh, good, Derek.
Okay.
Some of that nice meat on over there,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You're the best.
The Swing Master
Swing
and the Brunch
Masters,
Master.
There you go. Exactly. So Seth Thomas, owner of Swing Masters, thank you so very much for joining us on the
Thank you so
program.
much for
Tell
having
us a
me.
little bit about what you do.
Swing Masters is a driving range in Gilbert's, Illinois. We're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Now, I got to stop you.
Yep.
I mean, they're lifelong Chicagoans for sure.
Right.
And there are a lot of people watching the program because we're on CLTV every
right.
Tuesday at 3 a.m. and of course Comcast in the northern suburbs.
Yep.
But I have to stop you.
Yep.
Swing Master, located where?
Gilbert's, Illinois.
And people are like, Jerry, where the hell is Gilbert, Illinois?
It's off of Randall and 90, western suburbs, in between Elgin and Carpentersville.
There you go.
That's right. It's an amazing
Oh,
facility.
you're not that far away then.
No, we're not that far away at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a jewel out in the western suburbs. It's been out there for about 25 years. I just recently took over the facility. We have about 12 acres where you can hit golf balls as hard and long as you can. Then we have a nice putting green and a nice little sand trap too to work out of.
Is that right?
Yep. Master your swing at Swing Masters.
You know what? I want to come out there. Marty-B and I will probably come on out there to master our swings at Swing
Jerry,
Master.
can you take along with us?
Here's the thing. One thing I'm worried about. If I get in that sand trap, it might take me a while to get out. You're not going to lock me in. Or something, are you? Last call. You got to get out.
Well, I guarantee you they'll make two of us.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, I'm just like a weekend warrior, just like a lot of our viewers, and I'm pretty good off the tee.
Yep.
My mid game is.
So you're ahead of me
pretty
already.
good. I mean, I hit it on the green. You know, by the time I get it on the green, I was having problems with the putting.
Right.
I was on vacation in Newport Beach a few months ago, and I took a lesson with the top 50 golf pro, and he helped me. I never really knew how to read the green, to be honest with you, because I was too proud to take a lesson, and I was like, hey, I'm Jerry, I play sports, I can figure out anything.
That's right.
And the green, it kicked my butt.
Yep.
So he showed me and explained to me how to read the green.
Yep.
And I can say that my putting has improved at least 50%.
Yep.
At least 50%.
I meet a lot of gentlemen just like you that come in, they play golf their whole lives, they have a little hitch, little giddy up here, whatever their problem is, and they're always asking for help. They're always looking for learning. We have pros that are on site. We have pros that'll meet you there. I mean, it's a great experience. It's a great family experience. We serve beer and wine. We're having a grand opening on July 7th.
No mimosa?
No, we have.
No, that's good.
Just
That's
beer
good.
and wine, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's a great facility. It's a great place to learn. It's a great place to practice.
What got you involved? What got you involved with golf? Just like the rest of us?
Yep. You know, I grew up. My family owned driving ranges when I was younger. And
Oh,
stuff
really?
Like that. Yeah, just like being outside, working with my hands, just mowing, picking up the golf balls, chasing after golf balls pretty much all day. It's a nice facility. We have a nice little island green, so it's different than anybody else. Not a lot of driving ranges have water on the facility, so it's a challenge, but it's amazing. You know, people really enjoy coming out there and shooting at that stick. So.
Yeah. You know, interesting, over the past couple years, in particular, this area, with the weather in Chicago in particular and in general, it's always crapshoot, hit or miss.
Right.
The past couple of years, these golf courses have taken some hits. I know Kemper has taken some hits. They kind of like went down. Chevy Chase is right down the street here in Wheeling.
Yep.
I know they had flooded out. There are a lot of places in the area. What happens for you with the driving range and the putting? How does the poor weather, in particular the rain, affect you? Like in the past few days that we've had all this rain.
Unfortunately, I had to close for a couple days, but I'm working through it. I have a great partner, this group out of Wisconsin that comes up and they'll clean our pond out. On Memorial Day, they came out and they found 9,700 golf balls in our pond. I mean,
9,700?
9,700.
It's just a couple
balls.
sleeves.
Yeah. I mean, it's a couple shanks here, a couple shanks there, you
Wow.
know, whatever. So, I mean, that's a huge amount. I had them out a couple of weeks ago, probably about 2 weeks ago, actually, and found another 4,000 balls.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, the water's a challenge. People try to miss it, but
Yeah.
most of them hit it.
Yeah. That's what's the furthest distance as far as
Our facility goes back about 400 yards, but, you know, we got it marked off to about 275.
275?
Yep, I find a lot of balls back there, surprisingly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And the
so-
fee, I presume, is
$6 for a small bucket, about 40 balls, $8 for 60 balls, and $10 for 80 balls.
Wow.
So it's very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Okay.
You're competitive.
Do you guys have any
Anybody.
specials as far as, you know, I know there's some driving ranges around the area. They have, like on Tuesdays or Thursdays, $20 all you can hit.
We have memberships. You know, we'll offer a membership, say $150 for a medium bucket. That's, you know, a bucket a day. It's about a $90 savings if you hit balls every day. You know, and we're just working on stuff like that. We've been open for less than 2 months, so open any options, open any opportunities. So anything we can to get to show off our facility.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, we want to
Seth,
get on out there.
Yeah, it's a
Certainly,
beautiful
certainly,
place. It's a great
certainly.
experience. Lovely Gilbert's, Illinois.
Thank you. Thank you. In the western suburbs
That's
between
right.
Elgin and Aurora. So now you folks in Chicago who don't get out much, you know where to go.
Come on and see us.
Exactly.
Just on the other side of the island green.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Marty-B, the man on the street, what's the latest as far as catching up with some things? A lot has been happening over the past week or so.
Oh my
though.
gosh, yes. And in fact, next week we're going to get into some things. I'm very, very intrigued to learn that the Obama Foundation has hired a very dear friend of mine to be their diversity consultant.
Is that right?
Ernest Sawyer, the brother of the former mayor Eugene.
Eugene Sawyer, exactly.
Oh, wonderful family. They're
Wow.
going to do a marvelous, marvelous job. And I'd like to talk about that a little more next week.
Oh,
when
we
have time.
certainly will. We
And
certainly
also,
will, Marty.
you folks are familiar with the old saying, get your kicks on Route 66?
Boom!
Well, we're going to talk about Route 66 next week.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
You mentioned Eugene Sawyer. I actually met him at the World Cup back in 1994.
Did you really?
Eugene.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was
all
never at a more meaningful funeral service or a more lengthy one, but no one left when Eugene passed away.
Yeah.
And when the first time I ever had a chance to meet the former mayor was at my dear friend Eleanor Chapman's home. She was the founder of Mahogany Travel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I forget the name of the actor, but he was the rage, and he was on a show, and he was at her home. And when I met Mr. Sawyer, he took out his wallet and he showed me his union card.
That's awesome.
Yep, his painting union card.
There you
One of
go.
the most down-to-earth guys I've ever met. And the Sawyer family, some of the most enjoyable evenings I've ever had, is sitting in their kitchen and just talking.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Marty-B, the man on the street, always a fixture here on the Rewind Sports 60. Folks, we want to say thank you. Seth, thank you again for coming on out. We really appreciate you. Thanks to Randy Huntley, former Chicago Cubs catcher, legendary Chicago Cub catcher, for joining us, and along with Rich Nye, former Chicago Cub pitcher, Ferguson Arthur Jenkins, 69 Hall of Famer, joining us on the program, Tracy Shevchek, unbelievable, trekked across the country, joining us on the program. $29,000 raised for veterans going to the Gary Sinise Foundation. We appreciate her joining us. Sarah Sims coming on out here, being a part of that. She's going to make us look good. Come on over here, Sarah, real quick before we go. And of course, Donita Lake joining us, folks, on behalf of Danny Carlino, the Italian Stallion. There she is, beautiful in her own right. Danny Carlino, the Italian Stallion. Marty-B, of course. Tracy, Kelly Lee Williams. There's a lot of folks on here. And of course, thanks to our technical director,
And Jerry,
Jason Zinner.
Interrupting.
Yes.
For the next 2 Friday nights, if people want to see Kelly, I guess he's made the final 16. Or
Yeah, he's
something.
doing the next.
He's like the World Cup. He's in the finals.
It's unbelievable. 115 Bourbon Street in the southern suburbs. Folks, keep it locked in. This is the Rewind Sports 60. Donita Lake joining us as well as also. Come on here, folks. We want you to have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay cool. Believe me, stay cool. Enjoy the week. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. We want you guys to have a safe one. Enjoy yourself. Keep it locked in. This is the Rewind Sports 60. See you all next week. Take care, everybody.
Yeah!